Hello everybody, my name is Blue and it has been quite a while, hasn't it? I'm so sorry. The only explanation is I just had some other things to do, I suppose. But I am back finally with a new episode of the Lost World of Losango, and this episode we will be doing a double build. Just, I suppose as an apology for not uploading in a while, I have two animals in one episode, the Asian water monitor and the Gharial. Since they're both tropical Asian animals and both reptiles, I thought I'll have this reptile area, this Asian reptile area. And I'm continuing the Indonesian theme with the previous episode, and this time around I will be doing some very typical Indonesian ruined temples. And I think the whole Indonesian thing won't be a continuing thing in this zoo. Although originally I said that, this is a lost world or a lost city, it's not going to be a coherent city. I think it's going to be more like different areas of tropical architecture, and this entrance area will be mostly, Indonesian, with all the Asian animals like the Asian water monitor, the Gharial, all the gibbon species like the gibbon and the siamang, and we'll have a bunch of other Southeast Asian animals in the future, but for now this will be the last build in the Indonesian area because I want to continue to build for the other DLC animals, of course, the River Hog and the Fossa, and also the sloth. So next episode we'll be doing either an African or a South American theme, depending on what the next animal will be, which you can recommend in the comments. You can suggest any animal that you want to see next, either the Red River Hog, the Fossa, or the sloth. But this episode, the whole focus is the Asian water monitor, and the inspiration is lots of a lot of different images, but the temples generally look the same, or like you can really tell that it's Indonesian architecture. And for this particular build, I build a single template of a temple, and I copy it over, since it would have taken way longer if I actually built custom ones for each single building. So yes, it's a bit repetitive, but I think it looks good nonetheless. This one building already took quite a while, but yeah, it's very interesting because I have done this sort of architecture before, but using the South American pieces as the temple pieces. But I think these new pieces really make it even easier to create these very iconic Indonesian temples, or like ruined temples, even ruins and stuff. And it may look a bit repetitive sometimes, but it's very detailed. There's a lot of stuff going on, it's very busy. And even at the end, off camera, I'll add some more plants as well to make it look like it's all overgrown and stuff. And there is some destruction here and there, but for the most part it is not really that ruined. It's quite an intact building, I guess, if that's how you want to call it. But it is definitely a ruin. It's not a functioning building anymore, and well, it's not going to be a functioning building since it's a zoo and it's just a prop, I guess. It's just a show. There's nothing inside the building. There's nothing functional inside of the building. But yeah, I'm just using all the different mossy stone, I think it's called, all the different mossy stone pieces from the game, from the Tropical Pack DLC. And I do end up using a couple of South American pieces at some places, but the majority of this whole build is the pieces from the Tropical Pack, which, since obviously it's the new pack, so might as well use the new pieces. I don't know the names of the pieces out of my head, but yeah, it's basically anything mossy stone, I think. I also tried to work around the new dragon kind of pieces that we got. So I've built these little monitor lizard dragons around the temples, as you can see, and then I use this kind of layered look that a lot of the temples have to create a cool layered build. And there's a lot of different shapes with this pack, so it's really easy to make different kind of shapes and keep it a bit diverse and not too repetitive. Even though it is quite a repetitive build, it looks very interesting and there's a lot of detail and a lot of things going on because of the different shapes and the different sizes and stuff. So I think this is the top of the build. There's nothing much more that will be added on top of that. I think just a little peak on top, and that's basically the whole temple done. And I'll copy that over a couple of times. I'll add some details to the walls and some details to the roof, add some plants and ruinedness. And yeah, like you can see here, this is supposed to be a wall that would extend out of the building, but it's just broken, so that's just what is left. And then the wall continues on the other side, but that's just broken as well. So it's all ruined stuff, but this part of the build is the biggest majority, so most of it is just building this temple. The rest goes relatively quickly, I would say. But let's have a talk about the new water monitor. So I must say I didn't expect the Asian water monitor to be added in the game, since we already have the Nile monitor, and you know, it's not that popular, I would say. Although the Asian water monitor is definitely a popular animal in zoos and even in private care, like a lot of, not a lot, but there's definitely a substantial amount of people who keep these as pets even. So it's definitely relatively popular in the pet trade as well. But as a popular animal like this, I guess it does make sense to be. It does make sense that this animal is added to the game, but I don't know, maybe I would have preferred to see a different animal instead of the Asian water monitor, like another New World monkey perhaps. I think that there's a lot of tropical animals missing, and of course it's a asset pack, so we only get 5 animals, which is still, you know, we get 5 new tropical animals, which is amazing, but there are a lot of tropical animals, right? And we got obviously 5 more in the South American pack, and we got a couple more in some other packs, you know. And I think the right choice was to make this an asset pack because this architecture is amazing. These pieces are great, and you can still implement a lot of the other tropical animals in a lot of other packs. Like for example, an island pack. Yes, I'm still hoping for the island pack to be a thing, and I'm pretty sure the island pack could include a handful of popular tropical animals like the tree kangaroo, the kiwi, and the well, there's a lot really. I can't really think. Is Tasmanian devil tropical? No, not really. Is it? It's more like scrubland. But yeah, there's definitely a handful of tropical animals that they could add in a island pack. So there's a lot of birds as well, tropical birds. Although I don't think the island pack will include birds, since I think birds, like the first introduction of birds, will have its own kind of pack. But that's another topic. Right now we have the tropical pack, and well, after that whole talk about my opinion on the tropical pack, I have built a whole glass window wall in the meantime. And what I'm doing right now is I'm actually working on a ruined wall again, so it's just a crumbled up wall, or whatever is left of a wall. But as you can see, there are 2 sides: the left side with a window, obviously, and the right side. And the left side will be where the Asian water monitors will live, and the right side of this build is the home of the Gharials. And actually, I really enjoyed the building this build, like the whole ruined aspect of it. And here you can see I'm using some South American pieces as well, the South American temple pieces, since they're bigger, so it's easy to fill up the inside of the wall. It doesn't take as long, and it adds a bit more of a color variation as well, I guess. And then I'm finishing up all the ruined pieces with some edges. And then now I'm adding some more destruction to the wall. And then after that, I'm pretty sure I start on, well, some more ruinedness. But then I'm pretty sure I'll start building for the Asian water monitors, which will be one of the 2 inhabitants of this Indonesian temple area. Another ruined wall. I'm just building more ruined walls. Yeah, finally. So this is the first enclosure, the Asian water monitor, the smaller of the 2 enclosures. It's the actual view. You can only view from the side of the water, but you can look over the water a bit if you're tall enough. But I don't think it's bad. Well, you want to see them whilst they're swimming anyway, and they don't really do a lot on land, really. So it's okay to have a just 100% underwater viewing area, because there's no actual way to get on the other side and actually view the animals on land unless you are tall enough to look over the water. But yeah, I even add some maintenance gates and stuff like that to make it a bit more realistic, I guess. And I add in the Asian water monitors, add some rocks, some details. I even, as you could see previously, I added some more copies of the temple, but just the tips of it, just the top of the temples, so it looks like a bit different, I guess, a bit smaller. I add a load of logs to make it look interesting, and I will add plants afterwards as well. You'll see that. And for the outside, I add a lot of rocks just to make it more interesting, and then I start doing the Gharial as well. And the Gharial has a bit of a bigger enclosure, as you can see, since they are bigger, of course. I don't think either are actually happy with their enclosure size. If I would turn on welfare, I'm pretty sure neither the Asian water monitor nor the Gharial are actually happy with their enclosure size, but in my opinion, I think it looks big enough in a zoo for it to look good enough, I guess. And I think it works. Yeah, soon I'll add a load of plants. That's basically the rest of the build, is just a load of plants, a load of logs. I'm trying to make it look as interesting as possible, and well, there's not much more to say than just I'm gonna spam some plants, and I guess you have to enjoy me spamming plants. So I'll see you at the end of the speed builds, and then we'll do a little walkthrough. So I'll see you then. Alright, welcome to the Asian water monitor habitat from the Lost World of Losango. This habitat is very much inspired by the Indonesian architecture, since the animals that are found in this little area are both Southeast Asian animals. But let's start with the Asian water monitor, the new and exciting animal of this exhibit and of this pack as well. So the enclosure isn't really big, but I think it's actually too small for the Asian water monitors in game, but I think it's big enough. There's two of them. I'm sure it's big enough, and there's logs and stuff, and some temple ruins to make it look a bit more interesting. But the actual exhibit itself is not too exciting, I suppose. It looks relatively realistic if you ignore the whole temple area, but it's really these buildings that are the centerpiece of this build. It feels like you're walking through what is left of some Indonesian temples, with these buildings scattered around everywhere, and these walls, and just broken walls, I suppose, all over the place. But if we head over, we actually have a bonus animal this episode, which is the Gharial. And also being a tropical Asian animal, I thought it would fit, and you know, give a bonus animal since it's been quite a while since I've uploaded. And it's 2 females, and these Gharials look stunning as always. And there's an underwater view. You can also kind of look above the water as well, but you know, with this camera mode, you can adjust your height, so that's quite handy. And yeah, Gharials have a bit more place, obviously, since they're quite a bit bigger as well. But oh, one is coming out of the water right now, and there's also just the 2 of them right there. One is having a little run. But that's the build basically, and oh, you can hear the gibbons from over there as well. This is the whole Indonesian bit of the zoo virtually finished. I may add some exhibit animals, and we could definitely add some more Southeast Asian animals in the future, but for now this is the Southeast Asian area, and next episodes we will be working on the African area with the Fossa and the Red River Hog, and also the South American area of the sloth. And then after that we may add some more animals to fill up the zoo a little bit more. And yeah, yet again, I apologize for the late upload. I had a lot of other stuff to do, but definitely expect some more episodes of the Lost World of Losango, and maybe some other offshoot, like, standalone builds. And if you enjoyed this, then definitely watch the first episode as well, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.